Oh no.
Here we go.
It's fine.
We're all good back here. Five, four, three.
Hello and welcome to Concordia On-Air. I'm Allegra.
And I'm Ingrid.
And today on the show we have...
An October winter storm in news.
In sports, the volleyball team is killing it.
And on A&E,
Crimes of the Heart. All that and more on Concordia On-Air.
Hello.
Hi,
Welcome back,
Allegra.
everyone.
It's homecoming week this week.
It is homecoming week.
What are you excited for?
Oh, there are so many things. I always like to go to the bonfire. That's fun. I'm in an a cappella singing group called Harmonia, and we are singing before the football game around noon at the stadium on Saturday. So that's really exciting.
That's exciting.
I'm ready for that. I'm excited, I guess.
That's
What are you
awesome.
excited for?
I'm excited for the bonfire as well. That's always a lot of fun. Getting to see everybody at that is one of my favorite parts of homecoming.
So cozy.
I'm also excited for the game. That should be fun. I am also excited for the Johnny Holmes dance.
Oh,
That
yeah.
always is a fun part of homecoming for me.
What is that about?
So Johnny Holmes Band is a cover band that comes, and they just sing a lot of songs that we all know and love, and everybody just has a good time. And it's got some it's a good energy at that event. So would recommend. That's one of my favorite parts of homecoming.
You know, I've never gone to that. Maybe this will be my year.
This could be your year.
My one and only chance to go to the Johnny Holmes dance.
I have heard that there is some weather coming our way this homecoming week. I heard it's going to snow. How do you think that'll impact
Oh my gosh.
homecoming activities?
Well, given that most of the events we just talked about, the football game and the bonfire, are outside, that doesn't bode well if it's snowing. But I think we're always pretty good at having a good time in the winter conditions in this part of the world. So I doubt it will dampen the
I
fun
think
that
that
much.
if any school is ready for a snowy homecoming, it is the one that is in Moorhead, Minnesota, because it always seems to be snowing
It's
here.
always snowy here. Yeah, true statement. I feel like homecoming's a little later this year than it is in past years.
I feel like it is as well.
Yeah.
I remember it being earlier.
That could have something to do with the prospective snow
The weather that's coming.
that could be happening.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting if it is snowing on Saturday during the game to see how the football team handles that.
Well, other than that, is anything exciting happening in your life this week?
You know, I don't know. I do have my night class tonight. I've got constitutional law.
Oh,
So
exciting. Wow.
So exciting. What about you?
Oh, exciting things in my life. Exciting things in my life. I guess there's a concert. There's a concert on Saturday, the homecoming concert. Yeah, and I'm in that. I play with the orchestra. And so we'll do like a half hour, and then the band will play for a bit, and then the Concordia choir is going to sing, and they have been for months sending out application forms for Concordia Choir alumni to be able to come back to campus to sing with the Concordia Choir. And 400 people have said they will come back and sing. So that concert is going to be ridiculous. It's going to be off the hook. I don't know what they're going to sing. There's like rehearsals involved. Everyone's coming to town. They're going to...
That's exciting. I'm
just going to let it happen, I guess.
Do you think that the number of people who have applied to do that this year has anything to do with it being Dr. Clausen's last here?
Well, I think the reason that they even are having this kind of opportunity for alumni is because he's retiring. And that's kind of a big deal, I guess. Well,
That's really exciting.
now let's head over to news.
Hi, I'm Elise.
And I'm Andrew.
Last week, multiple Concordia email accounts were discovered to be making spamming and phishing attempts on other student emails. The accounts were promptly locked and blocked until a passcode reset could be made and the accounts could be secured. During the same week, MSUM experienced similar threats to email security. ITS would like to remind students of a few precautions to take when it comes to account security. First, remember to never send personal information in reply to suspicious emails, and to avoid clicking on questionable links. Second, report suspicious emails to ITS by forwarding them to suspiciousemail@cord.edu. Continue to check your Concordia email for more updates from ITS.
The Fargo-Moorhead Flood Diversion Project will be receiving over $500 million in federal funding this year, which came from an announcement by Governor Doug Burgum and EPA Administrator Andrew Wheeler. The total project is estimated to cost roughly $2.75 billion and will help protect over 245,000 people. This funding will now cover half of the $1.1 billion local share of the project. It will also provide an economic source of revenue for the whole state through various programs. And the funding is estimated to reduce costs to the state by nearly $600 million.
With cold weather in the forecast, Fargo-Moorhead residents are already preparing for the winter months. A winter storm watch has been issued for the region beginning Thursday night and ending on Saturday. A transition of rain into heavy, wet snow is to be expected, and the most recent forecasts predict 1 to 3 inches of snowfall for the area. Under the threat of this early snowstorm, city road maintenance crews are preparing their plows to take on the heavy snow. West Fargo has already brought in 700 tons of salt and 300 tons of sand to maintain road surfaces. A reminder to prepare your vehicle for the winter weather by checking oil and tires, and to take extra safety precautions while driving as road conditions become less reliable.
Former Minnesota Governor Mark Dane has accepted an unpaid position at the University of Minnesota. He'll be an executive leadership fellow for the upcoming school year with the Center for Integrative Leadership. The center is located in the Humphrey School of Public Affairs and also works with the law, public health, and education schools. The students in the center will work with the former governor, senator, and state auditor as he provides an oral history about his years in the public office. Aside from working with students, Dane will also work with a faculty partner on writing a series of reflections.
On Thursday, October 10th, President Trump is scheduled to hold a rally in the Minneapolis Target Center to support his re-election campaign. With a year left before the next election, the president hopes to convince the state to vote Republican. This may prove difficult, however, as Minnesota holds the nation's longest streak of supporting Democratic presidential candidates. Meanwhile, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey is requesting that the president campaign pay $530,000 in city fees associated with the event, an amount which Trump says is too high. With escalating controversy over the impeachment inquiry, this rally is expected to be an important factor in the president's re-election campaign.
Turkey sent warplanes and troops into Syria today in an attempt to remove the American-backed Syrian Democratic Front from the region. The attack was long anticipated after growing tension between the Turks and Kurds and a series of confusing policy decisions from the White House. The U.S. had withdrawn troops days earlier, and the Trump administration had been criticized for abandoning the militia that assisted them in reducing ISIS's influence in the region during the past. There's now fear that extremism could possibly grow there again, and Turkey would move its troops in after 6 hours of airstrikes, leaving an estimated death toll of 8 people. And now, on to an interview.
Hello, I am here with Lena and Karina from the Cobber Cheer team. Welcome, thank you for being here today. First, can you tell us a little bit about what being a cheerleader looks like at Concordia?
So, being a cheerleader at Concordia is super fun. We obviously do a lot of cheering, we do a lot of dancing, and sometimes we even throw girls up in the air.
Wow. Do you have anything to add, Karina?
I think she said it all.
Okay. Is there anything exciting happening this week with homecoming and the cheer team?
Yeah, we'll be at the bonfire tomorrow night, and at the homecoming game, we have a good halftime show coming up for everyone.
What will you be doing at the bonfire?
We're going to be doing maybe a couple of cheers. We're going to dance a little bit. Yeah.
Teaching the audience, maybe.
Hopefully, yeah.
Some cheers. How many girls are on your team or people?
We're at 15 right now, which is a really awesome number for our team. We're able to do so many stunts and so many more dances with that many people.
What position are you guys in the stunts?
I'm a flyer.
Okay.
And I'm a bass.
Wow. And how do you like that?
It's great.
It's great.
Yep. It's a little scary, but
yeah.
I know everyone's here to catch me, including Lena.
That's a nice feeling. Have you been doing this for very long?
No, we both actually just started in college. We both danced before and kind of just wanted to try something new.
Okay. And how different is cheering from dancing?
Cheer for me is a lot different than dance because you do a lot of yelling, but they're pretty similar, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, it's pretty similar. We still practice just as much and put out good content.
Okay, good, yeah. Can you give me a little spoiler? Like, what's the soundtrack for your halftime show, or is that not allowed?
What do you think? Is it allowed?
I think it might.
So, we're dancing to a remix of Fancy.
Oh, yeah. That's an awesome song. It's fun. It's good. Good.
Yeah.
What do you do outside of cheer at Concordia? Are you super involved or mostly academics and cheer? What's the balance like?
I'm a music education major, so I'm very involved in the choral program. So getting ready for Christmas concerts now.
Are you vocal music ed?
Yes,
then?
vocal music.
Okay. So you're in choir probably. Which one?
Chapel choir.
Chapel choir. Nice. Nice.
I'm just mostly academics and cheer.
Okay. What do you study?
I'm studying psychology.
Oh, that's so exciting. That's a really interesting topic.
Yeah.
Is Jenna Berger still the cheer coach?
Yes.
And how is she doing?
She's doing great right now, yeah.
Yeah. Does she bring her baby to practice very often?
Sometimes, not too much anymore, but if we're lucky, she will.
Okay. Well, do you have anything else to add about homecoming or the cheer team as a whole?
We're always looking for people, so if you want to try out, even for next semester, just let us know.
Yeah, how did people get in contact with you?
You can usually find us on Instagram, but if you go on the Concordia Athletics, you can find Jenna's email on there.
Jenna Berger's the email you should email. And what is your Instagram handle?
Hi, I'm Karina.
And I'm Lena Nick.
Great, okay. Well, now we'll go on to sports.
Good evening, sports fans, and happy homecoming. And in football, after winning 2 straight conference games, the Cobbers took their 2-0 record down to St. Thomas, who were 14th ranked in the nation for their biggest challenge of the season. After a scoreless first quarter, St. Thomas was able to do to Concordia what the Cobbers have done to their past 2 opponents. The Tommies racked up 23 points in the second quarter and 21 more in the third, allowing St. Thomas to top Concordia by a score of 51-6. The Cobbers' lone touchdown was on the final play of the game, where quarterback Blake Cragness ran for a 66-yard touchdown, the longest play of the game for either team. This loss brings Concordia's record to 2-3 on the season and 2-1 in the MIAC. The Cobbers will be back at home this Saturday for their homecoming game against Gustavus at 1 o'clock. In volleyball news, the Cobbers secured their second conference win of the season with a sweep of McAllister last weekend. Concordia dominated each game, winning by scores of 25-14, 25-18, and 25-13. Brianna Carney and Gabby DeBoer led the way with 9 kills apiece, and Cobbers' Kendra Wiggs had a team-high 5 blocks, with Casey Coase leading the team with 17 digs. Unfortunately, Concordia dropped last night's matchup against Minnesota Morris 3-1, bringing their season record to 5-13 and 2-2 in the MIAC. The volleyball team will hit the road this weekend for a match with St. Olaf on Friday evening and St. Mary's on Saturday. Both Concordia's men's and women's soccer teams picked up wins on late goals last Sunday. Senior Sam Guess was a hero for the men's team as he scored every goal for the team in their 3-2 victory over Vertebo. None bigger than his third goal in overtime, which secured the win. This marks Guess's second hat trick of the season and brings his season total to 12, just 4 goals shy of Concordia's single season record. The men are now 7-3-1 this season, which is their best start since 2010, and matches the last season's win total already. The men's next game will be this Friday in St. Paul against McAllister. The women's soccer team also won in dramatic fashion over Hamlin University thanks to Carson Granning, who scored the deciding goal with just 7 minutes left to play in regulation. This victory was also Concordia's first conference victory of the season. Concordia is now 1-4 in the MIAC play and 8-4 overall. The women will play in St. Paul next Saturday for a conference game against McAllister. And now Ingrid's got an interview for you.
I'm joined here today by Olivia Jacobs from the Homecoming Committee. Thank you for joining us today.
Of course.
I'd like to ask you about your role on the Homecoming Committee. What have you been working on?
Yeah, so I'm part of the Alumni Breakfast Committee, which basically consists of planning, organizing, recruiting hosts for 13 different breakfasts around campus, starting at the 5th reunion and all the way to the 65th reunion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
When are these breakfasts happening?
This Saturday. So They're kind of staggered in the morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
So what kind of other events does the Homecoming Committee have planned for this week?
Yeah, well, actually tonight at 9 p.m. is the Homecoming Chapel. Homecoming Communion, which is in the Centrum. And then tomorrow we're having the Frosh Frolics at 7:15, I believe. And then Bonfire, which follows. Well, dependent on the weather, of course, because we're all holding on for this winter storm. But yeah, I think that's what we have. And then, of course, all the classic events coming this weekend with the football game, tailgating beforehand, and just all of the events that usually happen are gonna still happen.
Awesome. Are there any cool ones that are more alumni centered that students might not know about?
Yeah, well, besides the alumni breakfast in the morning, I know that each class sort of has their own particular programming based on what the class agents wanted. And so sometimes they'll attend the parade together, or sometimes they'll have little get-togethers before their actual breakfast occurs. But overall, students can kind of see alumni on campus all week because they're visiting the different buildings or the different areas on campus that they remember, want to go back to. So a lot of times they just want to interact with students on campus and see what people are up to and how campus has changed. So
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So how long has the Homecoming Committee been working on this week?
Well, it's a big undertaking, probably since last January or February. Wow. And even before that, the homecoming chair, Laurel Redmond, has probably been working even before that to prepare us for our roles and what we need to know for being, for me, myself, hosting the breakfast, but other committees and their commitments and preparing them for what is in store. So months and months of work.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
It all seems to be going smoothly so far.
Yeah, coming together.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So why is homecoming an important part of Cobber spirit and Cobber culture?
Yeah, that's a big question.
Yeah.
I think for me personally, it's a time where all of the generations of Cobbers can get together. Like I said, people just love coming back to campus and seeing everything that's here, all of the buildings, getting to know all of the current students that go here. It's sort of like we're one big family that spans through the generations. And so that's important to me. But also, I just know that a lot of people who, I'm the first Cobber in my family, so for people like me, it's just kind of nice to hear some of the traditions that have been carried on through families, and I know some of my friends have generations of Cobbers in their families, and so that's super exciting, and homecoming's a good time for all of that to be brought together and people to meet each other.
Very cool. Yeah. Do you personally have a favorite part of homecoming?
Oh, that's a hard question. Based on the committee I'm on, I'm going to say the alumni breakfast because I hosted one last year and I got to know some pretty cool Cobbers. But I'm super pumped for the bonfire because I've never been to one and I've heard it's a great time. Yeah. I'm excited to see Eric Johnson lead on the pack, whatever that entails. He got a new megaphone this year.
Oh, wow.
So he told us he spent 3 hours painting it in copper colors. So I'm pumped to see that megaphone.
I'm excited for that too.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have any favorite homecoming memories from years past?
That's a good question. My freshman year, my friends' parents who were cobbers came onto campus, and we got to eat in DS with them and kind of take them around campus, even though they pretty much knew their way around. But they just kind of told us about all of the new things that are going on, or all of the things that were going on campus when they were students here. It was just really special to hear their stories and all about their time. So probably that.
That's very cool. Thank you so much, Olivia.
Yeah.
Now over to Arts and Entertainment.
Welcome to Arts and Entertainment. I'm Gabe.
And I'm KJ.
Crimes of the Heart, Concordia's first play of the year, will have its opening night this Thursday at 8 p.m. at the Francis Fraser Comstock Theater. Written by Beth Hensley and directed by Professor Christian Boy, this Pulitzer Prize-winning play focuses on three sisters who have come together in Hazelhurst, Mississippi, after past problems in each of their personal independent lives. The show will also be held on Friday at 8 p.m., as well as Saturday and Sunday at 2 p.m. Tickets are free for students and are available online through Cobbernet or at the theater box office. Additionally, the Frosh Frolics talent show will be taking place this Thursday at 7:15 in Olson Forum. Come see the many talents of this year's freshman class.
Recently, transgender artists have been becoming more accepted and well-known. On the stage, there is Peppermint, a trans woman who just last year became the first openly trans woman to originate a principal role on Broadway. She made her debut in Head Over Heels in the role of Pythio. In music, there is German-born trans woman Kim Petras. She is about to start her U.S.-Canada tour in 10 days. So, Gabe, how do you think transgender artists can change art in their own way?
Well, I think it probably just mostly brings a new perspective to a lot of the art that they're creating, whether it's music or if there's artists in the more traditional sense of painting or sculpting, whatever it might be. So I think that they bring something new to the table that maybe hasn't been seen before.
Yeah, I agree. They could really definitely have their own perspective that's very new and fresh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it might provide for more kind of almost unexpected in a way, but things that people just haven't seen before. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know much about it myself, but I think that it can only add to the ever-expanding amount of art that's out there and all the different kinds.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Mm-hmm. I think, what were the names of these
artists again? One that was recently on Broadway is Peppermint, and the other one is Kim Petras.
Okay, and these are both musicians, or?
Yes, they both call themselves musicians in some way.
Okay. Do you know anything about the genre that they're involved in?
They're both kind of this their own version of pop.
Okay.
It's more like club pop kind of thing.
Kind of a little like a subgenre or something of pop.
Yeah.
All right. That's interesting. Well, I might have to check them out when they come out. Have they made music before, do you know? On
yes.
Albums,
I know Peppermint has a couple of her own songs and a few of her own albums, and Kim Petra, just this last July, I believe she released a new album, and that's what her new tour is on.
Oh, nice. All right, and that's, is she visiting, you said St. Paul here?
Yes, she will be visiting St. Paul on November 30th this year.
Okay, so I suppose people are rushing to buy tickets for that too, people who are fans of her.
I'm sure. If you're a big fan of her, that's really exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun, I think, to go to. I think it'll be interesting, definitely, just to see what they come out with, and then, maybe it'll be some really cool new stuff that we haven't seen before.
Yes.
On the topic of the play coming up, first of all, are you planning on going at all to the Crimes of the Heart play?
I will be going on Friday, actually.
Really?
I'm super excited about it. I'm going with a couple of my friends. What about you?
I am actually also going on Friday. I got tickets a few days ago. I think it was right when the email came up that I went on and got them. I'm really looking forward to it myself. I used to enjoy going to high school plays back in Sauk Center where my hometown is. So I think this will be a lot more fun maybe and interesting, especially with all of the talent here at Concordia, especially in the theater production and all of that. I think it's going to be a great show. I also think the topic is very interesting.
Yes, it's a very interesting, like, just the whole idea of the show is very interesting. It'll be interesting how they perform it. And I've seen a little bit of the set, and the set looks amazing already.
Oh, really? Okay, that's good. Do you know what time period it's set in? No, I wasn't able to.
I think it's set in the 50s, if I remember right, but I'm not sure.
Okay. I think that'll definitely be interesting, though, especially the perspectives of the three sisters coming back after, their problems that they've had in the past. Do you enjoy acting at all, or are you involved at all in theater yourself?
Actually, in high school, I did some acting and some costume making. I'm a theater art major right now, so I really enjoy theater.
Okay, so you're really into it then.
Yeah.
That's cool, though. I know the one that's coming up next is Young Frankenstein.
Yes.
And I think is that coming out in October, I think?
That is coming out in November.
November, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Part of me almost wishes that they flipped them just because Young Frankenstein would be so fitting for a Halloween theme or that sort of thing. Although the movie is kind of more of a comedy with Gene Wilder. But have you ever seen the movie before?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You go.
Now we should move on to a video.
Take a few steps into Concordia's campus and you'll be sure to notice some of the school's most beloved wildlife. The squirrels of Concordia can often be spotted scurrying around campus, diving in and out of trash cans, and chasing each other up trees. But these squirrels are more than just entertaining critters you see on the way to class. For Dr. Joseph C. Whitaker's students, the campus squirrels are a valuable hands-on learning experience.
A few years ago, I was thinking it would be kind of neat to do a project where we could have students use radio telemetry. It's a pretty important wildlife technique. And I thought it would be fun to be able to do something here on campus. And it occurred to me the squirrels don't have a lot of information known about them. And it's kind of a unique population. We have 2 different species of squirrels on campus. So I thought it would be kind of fun to see how they interact and how they use the area differently. Since it's sort of a limited space, how do both species kind of carve out their own places, their own niches here? So.
Dr. Whitaker's research allows students to get experience with equipment that they could use in the field in future careers and lets them get up close and personal with Concordia's wildlife.
When we catch them, we put them in this little carrot bag, and then we unzip its little neck of the bag, and the squirrel puts its little head out, and then we take a zip tie and we put little colored beads like this on it, and then once it's there, it has a little chip in the collar, and we can go out every day and we can take a telemetry kit, and we essentially just walk around campus and see where they are.
And then we use a receiver, and we've got this antenna which picks up the signal coming off from the radio transmitter. So, yeah.
I've never been bit by a squirrel. I don't know, they can get a little aggressive. They just got attitudes.
Ingrid Harbo with Brennan Hammer, Concordia On-Air. Thank you for watching Concordia On-Air. See you next week.